when I went to the Nebraska Furniture Mart, they said they don't take American Express. And my question is, do you encourage the subsidiaries and the companies that you have stock to use each other's products, or do you leave it up to the management of the subsidiary?
Well, that's a good question, and it does tell you something about the Berkshire method of operation. We tell each subsidiary to run their business in the way that they think is best for their operation. And Borsheim's takes American Express, See's takes American Express, the Furniture Mart doesn't, for example. But that'll be true in other areas too. If Harvey Golub at American Express, who absolutely done a sensational job for us, if he wants to talk with or have his representatives talk with anybody at any of our operations, we're all for that happening, but we will never tell a subsidiary manager which vendor to patronize or anything of that sort. Once we start making decisions for our managers in that respect, then we become responsible for the operation, and they're no longer responsible for the operation. They are responsible for their operations, and that means they get to call the decisions, and they should do what is best for their subsidiary, and it's up to any other company that wants to do business with them to prove why that is best for them. And that's the Berkshire approach to things. And I think on balance our managers like it that way, so they're not getting second guessed, and somebody can't go over their head. I get letters all the time from people who are trying to jump over the heads of our managers, and they want us to say this advertising agency should be used or that and that sort of thing. And it doesn't work at Berkshire. They deal with the managers of the businesses, and they're not going to get around them. Charlie?
I love your answer. It gives Warren lots of time to read annual reports at headquarters.
Area 7.
Hello, my name is Steve Errico. I'm from New York. What do you think is likely to happen with respect to the tobacco settlement, and what do you think should happen? And secondly, McDonald's and Dairy Queen are similar businesses. Was there a relationship between your acquisition of Dairy Queen and the disposal of McDonald's? Thank you.
Yeah, there's no connection in the second case. They have certain similarities, but there's certainly a lot of differences too. A Burger King and McDonald's would be much more similar, or a Wendy and McDonald's, but Dairy Queen is much more of a niche than away from that. The tobacco settlement's interesting, just in terms of watching the dynamics of it, because one of the things in labor negotiations is always a problem is that when you, as a manager, you have a labor negotiation, at the end of the negotiation, you as management are committed, and basically the union isn't, because the union is going to have a vote on it, and that's just the way it is. I mean, you can't get away from that, but it is not fun to be in a negotiating position where you're bound and the other side is not bound. And although that wasn't totally contractually necessarily the situation in the tobacco area, it smelled like trouble to me for the tobacco companies, whether you feel they should have had that trouble or not, but it smelled like trouble to me when they were bound and you had another side that was not bound in any way, and where there were lots of political considerations, and where there was a lot of time was going to expire. I mean, that did not smell to me like a deal that would stick. And I don't know any of the tobacco executives that were involved in that, but I don't know how much they agonized over getting in a position where they were bound and the other party wasn't. But I can tell you from labor negotiations that's not a pleasant place to be, and it's not a great strategic place to be. Charlie, what do you think on that?
I don't feel I've got any great expertise in this situation.
Well, neither did I, but